All right, fam. We are going live on vibe106.com. We are also going live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, I believe. We're going to go live in like 2 minutes, but I have a lot going on here, so I don't want to miss my minute mark start. So hopefully you will enjoy the show. This is an internet radio show, and I'm optimistic that everything will be smooth as silk. We're going to kick this off real soon here. So if you have any questions or if you want to input anything, just send it to the comments, and I'll do my best to see it. But preferably you can text, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm gearing up. Here I go with my radio show. This is episode number 6. So strap in, buckle up. Let's lock in, and we are going to go. Countdown. Somebody should be here giving me a countdown. Happy June 1st, by the way, if I didn't tell you that. Happy June 1st. I'm a June baby, so here we go. We're ready. Hey, you are listening to the 24K Life on vibe106.com, the home of R&B, old school, new school, Motown, hip hop, reggaeton, 90s, 80s, and so much more. Simply the best music 24/7. You can't get any better than this. Hey, if it's your birthday, June 1st, I'm a June baby. I want to tell you, shout out, text into the show, and we'll make sure that everybody knows it's your birthday. We are in the study of the Vibe House, where we reset your mind, your money, and your momentum every Sunday at 2:30. I'm your host, Derek Gant, and around here, we don't chase mediocrity. We dominate, and we walk in divinity. This show is about living the 24K life, mastering your mind, your money, your body, and your soul to live boldly and unapologetically at your highest level. Hopefully, you are ready to lock in. So I know my 6th episode, I'm excited about it. We're getting some good reviews. Listen very carefully. If you want to share or input into the show, make sure that you text us. Don't call us, text us. We need a little bit more support for you to call. But if you text us at 419-972-1922, I promise you we will get that text message, and we will ask, answer, or support whatever it is that you want to do on the show. Here's today's topic, right? We've talked about tariffs. We've talked about the money. We've talked about the mindset. 24K is all about getting all of these things in order. And I hope that you know that if you want to be in order, you got to balance your life. And that's why we talk about your mind, your money, your body, your brand, your soul. And most importantly, are you willing and open to do the work? So I believe that most people, not everybody, when I did my show notes, I said everybody, and that's not really true. Most people want to be better. Most people want to be greater. Most people want more. The philosophy is simply that either you are growing or you're dying. So you probably want to live, which means you want more. You need more food, you need more health, you need more access, you need more. But the problem is very few are willing to fight for it, to build the discipline necessary to be great, because that's what it takes to become free. No, we're talking about mentally free, financially free. I talk about freedom all the time. It is one of my core values. Trust, freedom. We'll talk about the other ones a little bit later. But today, we're not just talking about motivation, the rah-ha, the hoo-ha, the let's go. We're talking about your identity, who you are at your absolute core. And we're going to go into the concept of building your own code, because everybody has a code. Like it or not, you have a code. You may not know what I'm talking about, but that's why you're here on the show. And again, if you want to share something with us, make sure that you text us at 419-972-1922. I wrote a book called The 24K Life Code. And it isn't just about a lifestyle for me. It's my personal standard of how I operate. It is my playbook. As an ex-athlete, you always had a playbook and you had a play for every situation, like anything that popped up, depending on where you were in the game, what needed to happen, you had a play for that. You had a plan of action. So 24K Life Code is my playbook, is my plan of action. It is the standard in which I live by. If I could break it down in a little simpler terms, my code helps me figure out what to say yes to, what to say no to, and how I continuously build momentum for something greater and something better. Now, I said not everybody. Some people just happy with the mediocrity that they're in. Hopefully, they're not listening to this show because this is just a complete waste of time for them, because we are talking about high achievers that want to achieve even more. You don't sit around and talk about who was better, Michael or LeBron. You want to actually get the ball and go get better. Now, your ball may not be a basketball, but at whatever it is you're amazing at, you're not willing to just sit by and let things fade. If you are tired of borrowing life, right? You're borrowing life and you're ready to own it. This show's for you. So I hope you're ready to lock in. So let's talk about, what is a personal code? Well, let's just be simple about it. The police have a code, right? They call it the blue wall. I wrote about this in my book also. Most gangs, they have a code, right? Most people have a code. God had a code. He just changed it from the New Testament to the Old Testament. And in the Old Testament, God's code was an eye for an eye. So don't come messing around here, because you're going to get back whatever you came to dish. So I hope you came to dish out a little love. But God had a code. It's eye for an eye. So the question becomes, what's your code? Do you have a code? Do you have a code that you have or that you're operating by? Because everyone has a code. Let's say, for instance, you're sitting there, you're listening to me, and you're like, this dude, okay, I got you. But I don't really have a code. Yes, you do. Your code is do whatever the system tells you to do. Follow the rules. Play by the rules. Play by what they tell you. Do what they say. Maybe your code is, I'm just come see, come saw, and my life is come see, come saw. That means mediocre. It means average. That means a struggle. That means lack, less than. Do you need me to continue to go on? Somebody text me and tell me they understand what I'm talking about. 419-972-1922. But let me explain to you, or at least define for you, the 24K Life Code. The 24K Life Code is living unapologetically on terms that define your highest self unconditionally. Now, when I developed this code, I didn't do it like that. I just didn't snap my fingers and say, this is what I'm going to do. This was built and restructured and refined, just like gold is. You dig it up, and man, the work that you have to do to dig it up is incredible. It's enough to make most people quit. But once you actually strike gold and you have gold, it's not pure gold. There's a lot of stuff mixed up in that gold. There's some nickel, there's some iron, there's some rock. There's a lot of things mixed into this gold. And so they put it into the fire. They put it in a boiling pot and they heat it up so that it melts. And then they sift out and they separate, right? They separate all of the other minerals from the gold. And that's why you have levels of gold, 24 karat being the ultimate purest form of gold. So we are saying to you, if you're willing to develop your own personal code, if you're willing to not only develop it, right? It took me years to really refine who I am and how I operate, to refine that playbook, if you will. Number one, I didn't even know I had a playbook. But when I realized I had a playbook and I didn't like it, then I took it and I started tearing pages out and replacing them with new pages. And I'm going to talk to you about some of those a little bit later. But understanding that where you are you willing to do the digging, number one, to dig up this gold? And that's analyzing your life and saying, what are you living by? What standards, what rules, what principles do you live by? Is your playbook a poverty-based, a lack-based? a survival-based playbook, or are you trying to switch playbooks to thriving, to prosperity? And I know it's Sunday, and we get a lot of prosperity preachers out there, and I'm a prosperity preacher too. I just don't have the license and the designation, and I don't preach. I show you. See, I'm a show you state. I should have been born in the show me state, because I'm trying to show you and tell you what you need to do. What do you need to do to get 24 karat gold? Most people like 12, most people like 18, some people like whatever else. I need 24 karat. I need to be the absolute best I can be, so that, let's just be honest. Number one, because it's Sunday. Number one, God can be proud of me. Number two, my mama can be proud of me. My daddy always proud of me, right? Daddy, you have a son, that's your dude. That's just my dude, right? I got two sons, both of them, my dudes. But your mama, you want your mama to be proud of you. You want to take care of your mom. And so for me, I want to make God proud. I want to make myself proud, because here's the thing, right? You have a nagging, burning, frustrating thing inside of you that's telling you you can do more, right? You can do more. You should do more. You should expect more. You should have been there by now. So you're looking at your life and you're saying, man, hey, go ahead. I'll tell you what you do. Here's what you do. I did this. I promise you this. I did this. Here's what you do. Go to ChatGPT and type in this prompt. You're going to say, hey, chat, I am, this age. I have this expertise. I have this profession. I have these skills. Here's all the things that I've accomplished over the years that I've been a professional or an adult. What should I be worth? Okay, I need you to text to put that prompt into ChatGPT, and I want to know what it tells you. So while you're listening to this, if you're not driving, if you're at home and you're chilling, go ahead and grab your computer or your phone and put in that prompt. I want to know what it says, because I'm telling you, you're going to be like, oh my God, I got to get to work. I've been underperforming far too long. So I want to introduce you to the 24K Life Code. Now, the reason why I want to introduce you is because it is a blueprint, right? It is a playbook, as I said, and I have my own code, but each of you have your own code. And I want you to take the 24K Life Code and use it as the foundation, as the template that you're going to fill in your code. If you do that and you start to recognize it, I'm telling you, it's going to make your life so much easier, because when you know what you will do and won't do, when you know what you'll accept and what you won't accept, saying yes and no becomes so much easier. So let me tell you, by expertise, I am not a radio DJ. Okay. I am a financial expert. I have over 35 years of financial experience in the game, in the money game. So, and I've also been a fitness instructor and a dad and all the other stuff. But let me tell you something. If you are struggling to figure out your code, and I don't know how old you are, because every listener is a little different, but let me tell you, if you're in my bracket, let's say you're over 40, okay? If you're in my bracket and you don't know your code, then you need to reach out and just text me at 419-972-1922 and say, I need help with my code. Just text me 24K code, and I'll know that you need some help, and we'll schedule an appointment. We'll jump on a call, and I'm going to walk you through exactly. Did I say kinda? No. Exactly what you need to do to level up your life and figure out your code. So the first thing that I want you to know is that if you're walking, riding, living, rolling, doing what you do, and everything in your life is negotiable. Sounds really cool, doesn't it? It's negotiable. I'm open-minded. I'm willing to negotiate. If that's the case, then nothing in your life is sacred, right? I know you think that's a great thing, that everything's negotiable, but I got some hard, fast stops. I got some things that are hard deal breakers because they are sacred. So let me share one of my favorite personal codes, okay? Most people, they go on vacation and they have a great time. Before they leave for vacation, let's say we're going to the beach or we're going on a cruise. Everybody knows when you go on a cruise, you go to gain 10 pounds because they feed you every 5 seconds. So you lose, some weight and you get trimmed up. So you look sexy in your bikini or your swimsuit, swim trunks. So you get your stuff together. You get on the ship and everything that you did to get there, you stop. And in addition to stopping, you start eating. So you're not exercising, you're not walking, you're not moving, you're not watching your calorie intake. And all of a sudden you come home and you've gained the cruise 10 pounds, right? I can't believe or begin to tell you how many pounds the average person gained during COVID. It's absurd. But anyway, that's because they didn't have a code. And their code was no code. You feel me? Their code was no code. I'm just going to do whatever comes. That's a code too. So what I have as a code over the years, I've developed this code because I used to do that. And that wouldn't be about vacation. It would be more so about just being off, right? So I'm a workout kind of guy. Every morning, 5 a.m., find me in the gym. But you go on vacation, and I would work out on vacation, but I'd come home and then you got to get back to life. I got to catch up on my work. You got to catch up on your emails. You got all this stuff that you got to catch up on. So you tend to say, well, I'm going to go ahead and get in the office early versus going to the gym. And that's a day, then it turns into a week, and that week turns into a month, and that month turns into months. And all of a sudden you've put back, on 15 pounds. So one of my codes that I've been honoring for years, like years and years and years, is that I will not go 3 days without working out. So that means if I don't work out today, June 1st, and I don't work out tomorrow, June 2nd, I have to work out on June 3rd. It doesn't matter if it's 11:20, I am going to go and get to the gym. Subsequently, I joined a gym that's open 24 hours a day so that I have zero excuses. In addition to that, I have not everything that you need, but actually that's not true. I have everything that I need to work out right in my home, right in my own basement. I got 2 benches, dumbbells, pull-up bars, TRX ropes. I got jump ropes. I got the treadmill. So I've eliminated all those excuses. And that's one of the things that you have to do when you're creating your own code of honor, right? And we were talking about the police and having their blue wall, or the Navy or the Marines, they have a code of honor. And that's what a code is. It's a set of rules, principles, and activities that you are going to live by come hell or high water, because you know that this is how you honor yourself. What? That's my money button, right? When I say something that's just sure nuggets, I'm going to give you the money button. So the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what are my own personal non-negotiables? I have to have some non-negotiables. And it doesn't matter if it's my wife, if it's my girl, if it's my kids, if it's my mom, if it's Santa Claus. I don't care who it is. It could be the Pope. I have some non-negotiables. And you have to honor yourself that way, because trust me, nobody else will. Everybody, here's a statistic that I want you to look up if you don't believe me. But people think about themselves, psychology, right? People think about themselves 95% of the time. So if people are thinking about themselves 95% of the time, that means that they only have 5% of the time to think about you. So they're not thinking about other people. They're thinking about themselves. And I explain this when I do my lectures, or if I'm asked to speak, sometimes we'll talk about this. Even if I'm speaking to a crowd of 1,000 and I've prepared my hind parts off so that I can deliver an amazing talk to encourage and motivate and get people, at a higher level, the question becomes, who am I really doing that for? Right? Because if I go, let's say they pay me my speaking fee of $13,000. They pay me the $13,000 for an hour and a half of engagement, some book signings, and some other things that I do. And I speak, I do what I do, but what if I do it poorly? How am I going to feel about myself? What if I do amazing and everybody comes up to me after and wants me to sign their book and wants to pat me on the back and wants to touch the hem of my garment, right? That's ego for me. So when you're doing things, trust me, even though I'm delivering this speech and I got paid to deliver the speech, I'm still doing it for me. I'm doing it for the speaking fee. I'm doing it because I've been commissioned by God to deliver my personal brand of greatness to the world. And I feel totally prepared, understanding that the internet is vast. I mean, right now we are on the Vibe 106.com and we are talking to thousands about how to level up their life. I'm doing what God put me here to do. Now, you already know I do it with a big flair of finance. I believe that if you get your finances in order, which is part of your code, you got to have a code about that money, right? And I'm going to tell you about my money code in a second. But if you take care of your finances, it is a gateway. Money is a gateway drug, right? It is a gateway to better health, better vacations. It's a gateway to getting better groceries, right? To not complaining, to living less stressed. It is one of the best gateway items you could actually have other than God. You know, it's a great gateway. The more you have, the better you can get. Not the more you can get, the better. I don't believe more is better. I believe high quality is better. And you can afford the best medicine. You can afford the better doctors. You can afford the better nutritionist, right? Wouldn't you love to have somebody cooking your Sunday dinner in your house that's going to clean up after you eat and all you got to do is chill? That's what I'm talking about. That should be on your vision board. Where did I get this from? There's a book in the Bible. It says, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. So you are free to make your choices. But let me tell you something. When you see and know that someone went through hell and high water to get you freedom, you should know you have to go through hell and high water to get your own freedom. This is not just, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I titled this Discipline is Freedom because what you have to come to understand is that the more you know exactly what you will and won't do, the more comfortable you're going to be. I don't even think about if I'm going to loan somebody $10,000, okay? Because I'm not. It goes against my threshold. Now, if they are starting a business and they want to make me a partner, we can talk about that. But I'm not giving or loaning anybody anything anymore. I've loaned thousands of dollars over the years, and you know what happened to it. None of it came back. So what you want to really understand, what I'm saying to you, is that freedom is built on structure. Freedom is built on structure, and the people that are the most structured have the most freedom. And most of you are sitting back, and I asked this question. I did a podcast interview the other day, and I asked the person that I was talking to, I said, hey, you know, what's your belief about wealthy people? Do you think that they know and budget? They know where their money is and they budget? And it was a financial consultant. So they were like, absolutely. And I said, well, how come the people who don't have any money think that the word budget is taboo? How come they think that wealthy people just do what they want, when they want, how they want? Because that's not the way it works. They have more structure. They may still do some great things, but the structure is they know how that's going to affect their financial life, right? And you might go, well, most of the stuff they do won't ever. Well, yes, it will. How many athletes do you know that have gone broke after they retire or finish playing ball? Basketball, football, baseball, whatever you want to call it, 3 to 5 years, they are broke. 85% of people who win the lottery are broke within 5 years. So there's something to this, and I'm trying to give you. We got somebody who has a text question. All right, Vanessa says, what if I don't know what my deal breakers are? How do I figure them out? All right, Vanessa, I see you, Vanessa. So here's, you don't know what your deal breakers are. I promise you, you know what they are. And here's how you figure it out. When somebody asks you to do something and then you do it, and then you're pissed off about it after you do it, you didn't want to do that. That should become a deal breaker for you, right? When you know that certain things will cause certain things. Let's say, for instance, that you eat, if I eat a bunch of, certain foods, my stomach is going to be messed up. So I don't eat those foods because that is a deal breaker, because I'm not trying to feel mediocre. I'm not trying to feel sick. So when you want to figure out what your deal breakers are, Vanessa, all I need you to do is take a look at your life And the next time somebody wants you to do something, the next time you want to do something, the next time your boss is in your hind parts about something that you know they're wrong on, or you know that you truly want to do. Let's say you truly want to buy your first house and somebody wants you to go on a mini vacation and spend $2,000. That should be a deal breaker if you truly want to buy that house. So now you got to ask yourself, do I really want this house in the time frame that I said I want it? Because if you do, then that's not an option. It's not even hard. No. Well, why don't you want to go? I have other financial plans. See, here's the key. You don't owe anybody an explanation unless they're paying your way. If they're paying your way, and I'm not talking about your boss is not paying your way, because your boss is paying you for your value and skill set. So you are being hired to deliver something that they can't do, hopefully without you. Vanessa, I hope that helps. If it doesn't help, then make sure you hit me back and I will help you offline. We have another text question from Dawn. Dawn says, how do you stay consistent with your code when you're under pressure or around people who don't get it? Okay, I'm going to piggyback that comment with Vanessa. So if you're in a group, and I see this all the time, right? I have you on a budget. You've decided that you want to level up your life and it's time to do better, but your friends want to go out drinking, right? They want to go bar hopping, or they want to go to dinner and have some drinks. And you know, and I know that if you go out in today's modern economy and you have dinner and drinks, you're going to spend $150. But that $150 is not budgeted in your plan for the week. Then you can't go. And when you say, no, I'm good, I have other plans or I have other things to do, you don't owe them an explanation. That's what I'm piggybacking on Vanessa. You don't owe anybody anything unless they're going to buy your house, unless they're going to put that $150 in your budget, right? You don't owe them an explanation. So what you owe is you owe yourself the discipline to do what you need to do to get that house, so that you have the freedom to paint the walls any color you want. You have the freedom to play the music as loud as you want. You have the freedom to put whatever you want on your walls without a landlord getting mad at you. So I hope that helps. So basically, Dawn, what I'm saying is get rid of them, right? Get rid of them. I will tell you this much. This is how far I took this. My mom asked me, she wanted some new carpet in her room. Not in my house, but she was living with my sister at the time. She's in so she calls me up, I need some new carpet. I said, okay, Mom, how much is the carpet? She told me. And I was at my threshold of what I won't go below. So in my emergency fund, I have a number that I won't go below. And getting her carpet was going to take me below that number. So I said, I can't, Mom, I'm broke. But what I can do is we can do it in 3 months. So I said no. But it was more like we need to pause it. So she went on a tirade, because your mother knows you, right? She went on a tirade. I know you got the money. She called me all kind of names, that name too, the N-word. She called me all that. And I looked at her like, I don't have it. And I was staunch about it, because here's what happens. When you are the center of people's lives, they're depending on you to come through for them. What she wanted wasn't a need. Had she needed something, I would have gone below my threshold, because that's called an emergency. But it wasn't. And so I had to define that for her from me, because she was including me. I love her more than anything on earth, but I wasn't going to do it. And I'm telling you, Vanessa, I'm telling you, Dawn, this is how staunch you have to be about where you're going about your code. So I want to touch on a couple things real quick, because our time is dwindling down. And the one thing I want to mention to you is that you can't get hooked on rah-rah. Don't get hooked on motivation, okay? Get hooked on the habit. Create a habit that's going to help you get where you want to be. Create a habit and a structure that you command and dominate your day by setting it up ahead of time. So I want you to use the 24K Life Code as a framework for your code, but put your own values in there. I want you to write down the 3 things that are deal breakers for you. Start small, but make them deal breakers. And again, if you need my help, just reach out. You can catch me at 419-972-9494. 1922. Just text me. Say, caught the show, want to talk to you. And I would be happy to help you. We have a program that we will walk you through that will help you elevate not only your money, but your mindset. Because once we elevate your mindset, I'm telling you, you're golden. So I want to give a shout out to all of those that are going to build their own code. And I want you to know that this is your season. It's your time, it's your season, it's your opportunity. So that's my time, family. I appreciate you for locking in and leaning in and living the truth out loud. Until next Sunday, I need you to stay focused, faithful, and fearless. This is Derek Gant signing off from the 24K Life, the studio, the study in the Vibe House. So listen to me carefully. I want to let you know that this segment was produced by Amin Poet Productions Company. For your musical needs, when sound is all you got, aminpoet.com. If you're ever in Ohio or Michigan and find yourself needing help, hey, call out to 2-day bail bonds at 419-944-3495. And finally, I want to thank my man, Eugene. You're in the kitchen with DJ Jam-A-Lot for his support and the sound. Hey, if you don't know anything better, make sure you're living a 24K life. All right. Hey, thank you all for jumping on. I appreciate you. Send me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you have a code that you are going to elaborate on, that you're going to set on fire, that you're going to level up. I call it a playbook. And if you don't have one, you need one. I got to go. I got a 3:00 meeting. Thanks so much for checking us out. And any comments you have, please share. It'll all help us make a better show.